shit, I didn't do a video earlier, but basic self-cleaning barbecue technique. So I roasted an entire chicken in this little barbecue about 2 nights ago, and it used the drip tray underneath, and wasn't anything overly hazardous or nothing like that. Anyways, I threw a couple little chunks of scrap wood in with the barbecue to create a kind of a smoky effect for the meat. But I was limited for seasonings and barbecue sauce and things like that, so I kind of had to improvise a couple things. But gave the chicken nice flavor, anyways. And then, anyways, afterwards, this was all just a greasy, sloppy mess. I mixed was basically some sugar, syrup, ketchup, and soy sauce in a bottle, and then just dripped that and glazed it onto the chicken. And then I flipped the chicken around a couple different times while it was cooking, and turned out really cool. So, but the self-cleaning technique I used was, these are just little like end cut pieces that come off of wood pallets. So I took a handful of this little bits of kindling and threw them in here while this thing was lit, and then I turned it right up on high, closed the lid on it for a little while, and I'm using a wood pallet as a windbreak just to help kind of reduce the wind coming through here, because this thing blows out every so often. So one of the tricks I learned was not to block too much of the airways around the burner when you're putting these little bits of wood around it. And then it sometimes takes a couple tries, but what this does is it absorbs all the grease and oil out of the bottom of the barbecue, and all that, there was all that like really hard to clean, that burnt on sugar barbecue sauce that I made, right? Kind of a barbecue teriyaki sauce that I tried to make. And so it was a mess. I didn't want this dripping out or coming back into my RV. So what the hell? Oh, there's this way. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it's nothing that's like sticky, greasy, or drippy that's going to come out of there. That's going to, cause a mess or a potential fire hazard or attract bugs when I bring this back into the RV later on. So, but yeah, this was just kind of the aftermath of my self-cleaning technique. Everything just scrapes off afterwards, and it's not too bad. That's still glowing red hot coals right there. So I could have cooked something else on that earlier, and or roasted marshmallows, or I can still light that up any old time and just use it the way it is. So normally what I do with these little barbecues is I get a handful of landscaping lava rock and line the whole bottom of the barbecue with lava rock, and then you light your burner up, and that drips and takes in all your mess of the meat dripping into the barbecue, but it creates a nice hot coal bed for a more even fire, or a more even cook. So anyways, yeah, that's my mess of the night. So this was pretty much self-cleaning. Oh, there it is. This was my improvised little grill handle. I was looking for that initially. So this also works as a little scraper tool. I can always get a bigger one later, because when that barbecue is lit, this is kind of scary to get too close to the flame when this thing's hot. Now, if I want to, I can light that up again any old time. And just use it. But